back to our channel. My name is Nicole. Now, I know I've been getting a lot of comments as to why we named the channel For the Love of Peyton. For those of you that don't know, my name is Nicole, but my daughter's name is Peyton, and everything I do is literally for her, right? So that's why I decided to name my channel For the Love of Peyton. For those of you returning, I love you so much for watching. For those of you coming for the first time, welcome. This is 2024. It's my first official video of the year, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of an update. You know, there's been a lot going on, and I just wanted to fill you guys in before we start our new series. Before we jump into a life update, you guys know how I feel about candles. For those of you that don't know, check out this video right here. This is our last video of 2023, where of course I did a candle haul because Candle Day is like a big deal to me. It's like second to Christmas, okay? I love it, and it's in the same month of Christmas, so it's like my pre-Christmas gift that just keeps on giving throughout the year. We have, and I'm gonna pan here of how my daughter did an incredible job in my office of putting all 108 candles, I think she says we have, in color order. I just think it looks so beautiful. It was one of the things that I just really wanted to put into our office, so I'm excited that we were able to do that. But as we are here now, I want to share with you the candle that I'm burning in this particular video. It's called Red Fruits Forest. It's actually not a Bath and Body Works candle. This is one of my favorite candles. The throw is incredible, and it is from Trader Joe's. Now, the bad news is this is only sold during the holiday season, but when I tell you next year, hopefully it'll be there because it was here this year and it was on the shelf last year as well. So hopefully in 2024 it'll be there as well. But when I tell you the throw on this is incredible, and the other thing I love about it is that it's one of the wood wicks. So it has like, it sounds like a fire crackling when you're burning it. So this is one of my favorite candles. I love to burn it in my office. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let's see if you can get a little AMSR. Hold on. Can you hear it? It just sounds so good to me, and it's like calming. I love to hear it, have it going in my office. But what I'm gonna try to do at the beginning of each video is share with you guys which candle I'm burning, what's the candle of the moment. So that's that one. I think you can still hear it while I'm talking. I kind of like that. Okay, comment below if you've smelled this Red Fruits Forest scent before from Trader Joe's. It's one of my favorites. So let's jump right in. You know, 2023 was probably one of the most incredible years of my life. And I wanted to come on here and just be transparent as to why I was not consistent. One thing that my mom always says is, if you have nothing to say, say nothing at all. If you don't feel like what you have to say is adding value, then it's okay not to speak. I don't know if you guys experience this in the corporate world. I find that sometimes when you're on calls, especially if you're on calls with people that are 1 or 2 levels above you, I find that there are other people in the room that recognize their senior leadership on the call, so they feel this need to just add to the conversation, and what they're adding adds no value, but they just want to be heard. And I always shy away from that, because I find that you become white noise if you feel that you need to fill every single silent moment or interrupt conversation just to put in your, and it's not even 2 cents. I can't even say 2 cents because you're not adding any value. Instead, remain silent. And when you have something impactful to say, you'll be surprised at how the room gets very silent, because they recognize whenever you open your mouth, you're going to add value. And if you don't open your mouth, it's because you have no value to add in that moment. And people will be more tuned in. And that's why I've been silent. I am a fan of true crime, and I watch true crime literally every day. I love how the victims' families are able to see justice and how they're able to get there, whether it be because their family will not let their name die in the media. They keep making sure they stay active on TikTok or active on any of the social media platforms to make sure their name remains heard and relevant until they get justice. I love how that is how the story just progresses. Of course, we don't love to see people dying, but I do enjoy seeing how their stories are heard and they don't just become a number. You're able to hear the background story of how they were raised, where they're from, what they love to do, what they love to eat, how they impacted other people's lives, things of that nature. But what I really admire about true crime podcasters is their ability to be impactful. They're adding value to the internet space. And I felt like I kind of got quiet because I didn't know if my content was really adding value. I love my content. I love to shop. You guys know that. For those of you that follow me, I love hauls. Like, that's my thing. I love to shop, but I want to be able to share some of that with you still, but just within a different capacity that maybe adds a little bit of value and still feels like it's impactful. Still feels like when I am in the process of editing that I hope that someone can take something away from it. And so I am coming up with a new series that's called Beyond 40 because in 2023, I turned 40. I'm gonna be 41 in just a couple of months. And I had this kind of epiphany where I felt like maybe I needed to be silent. I needed to focus in on unpacking because, you know, my fiance, my daughter and I moved to a house and we made two homes, one home. So just getting acclimated with living together, unpacking, making things comfortable for everyone. Also, my daughter I was homeschooling her when we moved here for the first 5 months. So that took up some of my time. And of course that has to take precedence over shopping hauls, right? I was still shopping and I did a lot of it. But you know, in the moment I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's as important to share shopping hauls as it is to make sure that my daughter is being properly homeschooled. I'm still adding value to my role within the current company that I'm working for. And then I had my birthday and I turned 40 and it was an incredible experience. My fiance and I went on a cruise in the summer. We had so much fun. We went to 4 different islands. We went to the Bimini Islands, Bahamas. It started off in Florida. We also went, oh my God, to 2 other places that fail me right now, but we had an incredible time. It was so nice to just be able to wake up, not have to worry about who's cooking, who's cleaning. We spent, I think it was 5 days, 4 nights. We had a great time and we just got to enjoy each other. I have not been on the water. This is so funny. Not funny, but funny now. I can laugh now, but it was a very big milestone for me to go on a trip with my fiance because the last time I had went with a significant other on the water, it was a yacht party and it was a terrible experience for me. It's something that I'm still healing from that I'm not ready to share yet, but it was a big milestone moment for me to turn 40 and to celebrate my 40th birthday by going on a trip with my fiance on the water. And I had the most incredible time. And one thing I love about my fiance is her ability to be patient, her ability to be understanding with me because I, you know, in my last relationship experienced, it was a very toxic relationship. And actually, I've been in more than one toxic relationship. I am someone who was a victim of domestic violence. Coming to cross paths with my fiance was such a surreal experience because I realized that God had placed me in her, God had placed her in my life and mine and hers at the opportune time. She helped me through my healing journey. She's still helping me through my healing journey. And last year, experiencing that cruise with her was something I will never forget because it was just such a beautiful drama-free experience like the last 4.5 years with her has been. It has been a surreal experience of how drama is nowhere. The only drama that we experience is when we watch our reality shows, which we love, right? Like that is, or any movie. Like we always say we love our drama, but only on TV. We do not bring that in the house, and it's not something that we have to actively think about avoiding. It just organically has happened, and I'm grateful to God for that. And when we were moving in together in 2023, I was really nervous about that. Like, what if once you're, you know, because they always say things are always great till you move in with each other. And I think, you know, we've only gotten closer. We've only gotten to learn each other on a different level. So I'm definitely grateful for that. Another great thing that happened is my daughter, once she graduated from 3rd grade, got accepted into a performing arts program. So now she's back to traditional learning. So that took a time as well to transition into that. And it was incredible. I think this is exactly where she needs to be. A few weeks ago, she had a performance, and I just was in awe. I was in awe of how incredible she performed, and she looked like this is where she is supposed to be. And I was just so taken back. I didn't know what to expect when we got notification that we were supposed to come to this performance. And I'm like, okay, you know, this is just gonna be one of those regular performances. The kids come up there and they just sing a little something, but it was a whole storytelling of the 1920s. It was incredible. When my daughter got on stage and she was singing, she didn't have a solo, but she just shined. She was smiling, she was snapping those fingers, and she looked like she was having the time of her life. And I was so grateful for that. And here's my dog, Brooklyn. He wants to come up. Say hi. Hello. You wanna come up with mommy? He goes with me everywhere, so he wants to be with me right now, which is fine. So just having that experience was just incredible for me. I was so grateful for it. And it just let me know, like, it was God telling me this is exactly where she's supposed to be. And it's so great to like be in tune with God, where he is just speaking to me, because this was, we're actually in the time frame for school choice. In short, school choice is an opportunity for you to apply for a school that's out of zone. She is currently in a school that is out of our zone. And I applied last year, and she had to audition, and it was based on audition and her academic standing as to whether or not she would be able to be accepted into the school, which she was. She continues to go there if she doesn't want to go to another school, but I was wondering, should I get her into another school? Should I just try something else? And after seeing that, I knew God was speaking to me saying, this is where she is supposed to be. And you know, she's flourishing. We also got invited to the awards assembly. She made the honor roll this year, and again, I just know that we are where we're supposed to be. And then in August, I started a PhD program. I am getting my PhD in strategic leadership. I know many of you are thinking, why did you decide to go back to school at 40? I just felt like this was something that I've been shying away from for a very long time. And I thought to myself, you know what? Not that I really need to be adding anything else to my plate, but I wanted to be challenged in a different way. I haven't been in school in almost 15 years. I got my master's in 2010. So sorry, it's gonna be 14 years. Actually, this month makes 14 years because I graduated in January of 2010. And I have my master's in childhood education. I loved that experience, but that experience, it was like, I took a few years break after getting my bachelor's, and I got my master's without any children. I was living at home with my mom, so I didn't have any, you know, additional financial responsibilities. But now I just purchased a home. You know, my daughter just started back school, and of course she's getting acclimated with that because it's a very rigorous program. And you know, I'm also in a relationship. At that time I was single, so there's a lot of other cups that I'm pouring into, but I am really excited that I chose this to challenge myself in a different way. And it has been extremely hard. It has been extremely demanding, but it's also extremely rewarding. And so for that, I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. So I feel like that's catching you up to where we are. Oh, also last year, at the top of the year, January 29, I got engaged. So that was another exciting experience as well. I can't believe I forgot to share that. That started off the year strong, right? We purchased our home in December of 2022, and then in January we got engaged. It was an incredible experience. My then girlfriend and I went to New York. We missed out, and we always go to New York for the holidays, for Christmas, and we weren't able to go last year because it was right around the time that we were closing. And for anyone that's closed on a home, you really don't know when it's going to happen. And you know, it was just, when we first purchased the home, we had a lot of renovations going on. It was just too much going on. It was too chaotic for us to be able to make it to New York. So instead we went in January. And although we've been together for all this time and we're both from New York, we've never been on a date in New York. So, you know, she says to me, let's go on a date in New York. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we decided we were gonna go on a date. We met in Queens and we took an Uber to Brooklyn. And as we're walking up this path, I see Jane's Carousel. And for those of you that don't know Jane's Carousel, there's like a whole history behind it. There are only a few carousels left, and one of them is overlooking the Brooklyn Bridge. And she shut down the entire Jane's Carousel and had about 30 to 35 of our closest family and friends there. And she proposed, and it was an incredible, amazing experience to have that done in front of my family, which means so much to me, and her family, which I'm also close with as well. I'm so grateful that our friends and family were able to be a part of that moment, and it was incredible. It was just something I will never, like, it is such an incredible memory. I will never ever forget it. She said yes. And so that started off our year strong. So as I come into 2024, I want to close out this video by letting you know I am starting a new monthly series. I want to do this visual journal, and I want to share with you guys, and it's also selfishly for myself as well, because I know that in the last 10 years I've matured so much. I've went through so many different experiences, both good and bad, and I'm grateful for both good and bad, right? Because I feel like, you know, the good experiences help you grow, but so do the bad ones. In the moment, it feels like your world is absolutely imploding, but long term, you realize I've grown so much from that. And even all of my toxic relationships, I'm grateful for, because I wouldn't have been able to be as grateful for my current relationship because I wouldn't have had a good measurable. So you never want to be you never want to have regret for past relationships, good and bad, because they all happen for a reason. They're a part of your journey. And so I'm starting this monthly series where I'll be coming on here once a month to share with you what's going on in my life. And it's going to be entitled Beyond 40. So let me get my little notes. So there are going to be 5 segments that I'm going to share with you guys every single month. And just in short, I wanted to give you like a sneak peek of what to expect. So the first segment is called Beyond Passionate. And this segment is going to be a behind the scenes look at what's currently igniting my passion and drive. So what am I currently feeling passionate about that I really want to hone in on for that particular month? And then the second segment is going to be called Celebrating Me. This is one of the things that I really struggle with. I struggle with being able to celebrate milestones, both big and small, like big and small victories. You know, I want to celebrate big victories. Like I turned 40, that's a great milestone. Or I'm starting a PhD program, that's a big milestone. I always downplay big and small milestones for myself, or something small, like I lost a pound this week. The last 3 weeks I was stagnant and I didn't gain or lose, but this week I lost a half a pound. That is still a milestone. That is still a victory that I want to share, right? And so I'm going to be sharing it with you. And the next segment is Let's Unpack That. So you know I had to sneak in a little haul. So this is unpacking items I've acquired in the month. It's a quick haul. It's not going to be everything that I've acquired in the month, but it's going to just share with you some of the things that, whether it's a luxury piece or must-have piece, that I am purchasing for myself or for my home that I feel I just love. And I'll be tying it back to how I am enjoying it at a mature level in this year of being 40. And then the next segment is called Beyond Insomnia. So this one is honest discussions about challenges or concerns that keep me up at night. So not literally keeping me up at night, but something that I've experienced. Is probably going to be a true crime discussion where I'll tap into something in the news and share with you this update and say, oh my gosh, when I heard this, this is how it impacted me personally, right? And you know, I have to sneak a little true crime in there because I'm obsessed with true crime, right? And then the next segment is going to be self-care beyond 40. So this is going to be something that I do, one of my self-care practices, and how they contribute to my journey, whether it be my academia, my motherhood, how I connected to my relationship, or if it's just something that I've chosen because I am just luxuriating just because. It's not necessarily needed, it's a just because, right? And then the last segment, which I'm really excited about, is chapters beyond 40. So in this segment, I'm going to be talking about a book that I've read that month. Now, I'm excited about this one because this is one of my goals. I cannot tell you prior to 2024 the last time I read a book from beginning to end for personal reasons, not because I had to read it for work or because it's an article or a white case that I'm reading. No, I'm talking about or for school, just because it's something that I'm interested in, or an author that I've heard about that I really want to read. I am so excited to challenge myself this year. I challenged myself to complete 4 books this year. And so I will be sharing with you a snippet of a particular book. I'll share with you the author. I'll give you my review on it. And then, of course, I'll link it below. Now, the way I've decided to do this, because, of course, I have a lot on my plate, is I am leveraging Audible. This is not sponsored, but maybe we'll be sponsored in the future because I'm speaking that into existence. But what I want to do is use Audible, and I have been using it to kind of multitask, right? Because instead of, you know, when I'm driving and I'm stuck in traffic, I can be listening to an Audible instead of, listening to this book instead of listening to a podcast. Or if I'm cleaning, something like that, I can do that as well. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Comment below, let me know what you think about this series, or maybe which segment you're most looking forward to. I'm excited for you guys to grow with me. I'm excited for you guys to see some of the challenges that I'm experiencing. You know, I struggle with anxiety, and this is a little bit of it's therapy for me. It's an opportunity for me to open myself up and be more transparent about some of the great things that are happening and maybe some of the challenges that I'm going through, in hopes that that my transparency will inspire you to realize that you're not the only person going through whatever challenges you're going through. I am here as well, and I'm going through something similar, or maybe the same exact thing, or maybe something completely different, but to know that, you know, you're not in this struggle alone. Everyone has their own struggles. And I know that a lot of people mention that social media is just like the highlights, and that's okay for those that want to share that. And I've been that person that shares the highlights, but maybe it's also time for me to share some things that do keep me up at night, that does trigger my anxiety. I am working through that now, but as I work through it, I feel like this is a part of my therapy. So I thank you ahead of time for being a part of my therapy. I thank you guys so much for watching. We love you so much. Make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I love you guys so much for watching, and I cannot wait to share the Beyond 40 series with you. Bye.